If your coding portfolio is a bunch of half-finished weather apps or to-do lists, it's not helping you at all. If you want to get hired faster, your portfolio needs to scream, I know how to solve real problems. So in this video, I'll show you the fastest, no BS way to build a coding portfolio that actually gets you noticed and will actually get you hired. Let's get into it. So if you're new, my name is Zazo. I've been coding for over 10 years and I've been in the tech industry working for about 8 years plus. So in this video, we're gonna go over the portfolio projects and different things you need to put on your portfolio in order to get you hired. So the first thing that I need to kind of level set and let you know that I need to explain why most portfolios fail. Here's the truth. Most beginner portfolios all look exactly the same. You got the weather app, you got the calculator, and you got your to-do list clone. We've all know it, we've all seen it, we've probably all have done it, which is the exact reason why it does not stand out whatsoever. And like I said, we've all done it because that was a step into our learning, but that is not what's gonna make us stand out to employers. These type of applications or projects don't show that you actually know how to solve real problems or how to build real products. And that's the difference between a project that gets you ignored and a project that actually will get you hired. So now I'm gonna go into something that may come as a surprise, but you don't need 20,000 projects on your portfolio to actually get hired and stand out to employers. I like to keep it simple and I like to think of it in 3 specific projects that really show your understanding and your skills. You need 3 high quality projects that check the following boxes: that solve a real problem, that uses job relevant tech, things like React, Node, Python, APIs, etc. All these different things that are used in tech. It can't be something that's super outdated and no longer relevant. It has to have a clean UI. Even if you're not the best at front end or making UIs, there are a bunch of different tools out there now that can allow you to make great looking UIs, and you don't have to be some type of guru or designer. It should be hosted live, so that way anytime an employer or somebody wants to use your product, it can be used by your employer. What better way to show them that you know how to actually put a product out there than having it hosted and actually live on the internet for people to use, and having a Git repo with a great README file. This is kind of controversial, it's kind of but it's still good practice and still good to have that there for employers to see. So here's the 3 project strategy that I actually recommend. The first one is something called a clone and customize, right? Take a popular app that you use or that a lot of people use and essentially clone it, but add your own twist. So this shows that you can build something like, something that's already out there, something like Notion or a Trello or something of that nature. So you can build that one, but 2, you can fit it into actually customizing to something that you thought that specific app needed to have better, whether that's a smoother UI, whether that's better functionality, whether that's features that they just don't have. Customize it to what you think it should be, because you're able to understand how the original app works and you're also able to add your own twist to it. Number 2 is you have to solve a pain point with your project. Build something that you would use or something that you actually use right now and make your own version of it so that you would replace any subscription you may pay or any type of thing like that. The third thing is you have to use a real API. So you need to be pulling real data. An example is something like a news dashboard using the news API or some type of crypto tracker, stock tracker, things like that. These are just some random ideas here. Obviously, you don't want to make a project that is super vague that doesn't actually solve a problem. That is the key thing here. So one thing that I get and I see in my comments is, can I give some recommendations on some resources or even some project ideas? So for this, I have for free stuff, you're gonna wanna do a free code camp, which is actually where I got started for the Odin project. They have some good resources there as far as getting you started and having some different projects that you can do. For paid, you have Udemy, you have Coursera, and you have Educative.io, which I'm actually affiliated with. If you click the link in the description, use my affiliate link, then you will get a 10% off discount when you go ahead and, use that. But they have a bunch of things on there. They have projects, they have different paths you can go down. If you want to be a data scientist or you want to be a backend engineer, you can go down a certain path. You can filter by language, and they have a bunch of different projects ideas based on certain languages. So I highly recommend you go check that out, not just because I'm affiliated with it. I actually started using it myself, and it is a great tool. But let's get back into the video. The next thing is you want to build your portfolio website structure. So your portfolio website is such a great project to do because it is so customized to you and what you want to make it. So you need to include a clean homepage with a headline, something like, hi, my name is here. So hi, my name is Zazo, or hi, I'm Zazo. I build web apps that solve real problems. Something of that nature. Obviously that's very vague and kind of weird, but this is where you can make it your own, right? But these are the things you need to include. You need to feature 3 projects with demo links, code links, some short write-ups of the problems that it solves. This is key because if somebody is going there just by looking at your app, they're not going to get the context behind why you built it. So it's very good to give all of this up front. That way, if employers do stumble across it, they're able to kind of see where your head was at, why you created what you created. All right. I also suggest always doing an about me page because, first of all, a review of you and kind of like you as a person and your story on why you got into coding, programming, or whatever it may be. This is a great way to kind of tell your story as well as provide your tech stack and kind of the skills that you have. So this is a must-have on a portfolio website. You always want to have links to your GitHub, your resume, and your LinkedIn. And here is a little secret sauce that I'm going to sprinkle on top. Bonus points if you have a mobile-friendly and deployed app on Netlify or Vercel of some sort. It really gives that extra polish to any project that you may have because it shows multiple different facets of, hey, I made a web app and made it, into a mobile app and things like that, especially if you're going for some type of mobile development. So that's just some bonus points there. It's not really needed, but it can help you stand out for sure. So what employers really look for is they don't care if your code is perfect. They don't care if you write the cleanest code ever. They just want to know, can you take an idea? Can you bring it to life? Do you understand how real apps work? Front end, back end, data, authentication, etc. Do you know how it works? Even though you may not specialize, or you may specialize in a different area, let's say back end, but do you know how the front end works with the back end? Do you know how authentication works? Do you know how data gets from one point to another? Even though you may not know every specific detail about it, you need to know about all of these different aspects of technology. So another thing is they also want to know, like, when you're writing code, do you write it just willy-nilly? Are you just writing code, or is there a method to your madness? So being able to write code that may be cleaner, and when I say clean, I don't mean as like super clean. I mean like when you're writing code, are you able to also explain what you're doing and why you're doing certain things? This is very important because nobody knows why you do what you do. If you've ever been in a code base and you stumble upon some code that you didn't write and it made no sense on why it was done that way. However, you speak to the person that actually originated that code, and when they explain it to you, it actually makes sense. You got to realize this is your first interaction with an employer or, some type of person that is going to hire you. So you need to kind of have that explanation on why you're doing what you're doing. So with that being said, nothing proves that faster than a portfolio that shows your journey, your skills, and your problem-solving abilities. So here is my final advice to you. Here's what I do if I was starting today from scratch as far as creating a portfolio that would get me hired. I would spend 1 week on building my portfolio website and the structure. Anything that you could fill in, the about me, all of that different types of stuff, do that now, but create the overall structure of your portfolio website. The next thing that I would do is over the next month, I would add 2 more projects using tools and tech that employers actually ask for. And then after that, I would polish the site and post your projects on LinkedIn and GitHub. You have to remember, your portfolio is not a gallery. It's your resume, it's your elevator pitch, and your job interview. all in one. So you got to make sure that it really speaks to a lot of you. So make that the all-encompassing thing that shows your skills, your journey, your stack, and all of the above. So if this video helped you in any way, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.